Okay, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Today we are talking about the simple diagnosis of organs, right? So you should have read page 265 and 266. Now, if you have the platinum edition, which is written on the front of the book, then some of the page numbers are off. Um, but I'm pretty sure. And make sure you have the textbook of African Holistic Health, not the book called African Holistic Health. Um, yeah, my bad. I should have made that more clear in the book description. So hopefully you have the right one because Dr. Africa does have a book called African Holistic Health, but you should have the textbook of African Holistic Health. Okay. And like I said, we're reading page 265 and 266 today, which talks about the simple diagnosis of organs. He says that the chart that you want to look at for the organs is on page 291. It's actually on page 432. He didn't do a good job of updating the page numbers after he made more additions. Anyway, we're not going there. It's all right. I do the same thing. So we can figure it out, and we will. So if you read this page, you're probably like, what in the hell? So I want to break it down for you. Then we're going to look at some images and determine what region it is in. And the reason this makes sense is because, as he explained in page 265, I think, and then page 432, let me make sure. Yeah, page 432, it really breaks it down. And it talks about how when we're born, when we are embryos in the egg, and all of our organs and our limbs begin to form, the nerve connection is there, right? The nerves grow longer to create these different organs and systems. And this is why we can connect them to different growth periods and how it applies to us holistically, right? So this week we're doing just a simple diagnosis, right? Let me look at this book really quick. On we are doing. Are we doing at this course? We'll talk more about some very specifics when it comes to holistic. Excuse me, guys. Holistic diagnosis, but this is a good starting point. So, again, the charts on page 432 you need to pay most attention to. Okay. Now, why does this make sense? Because when you're looking at somebody and you're looking at the location or the region of their whatever's being presented on their skin, will tell you if it is a spiritual thing, which means emotional, a mental thing, which means thoughts or intellectual, or C, a physical thing. Okay. C, physical, meaning you're actually doing something. You're eating the wrong foods. You're damaging your body from too much wear and tear or stress, too much exercise, or your job may be very physically demanding, right? That's physical. Mental means that you can think. Our thoughts release chemicals. Every thought has a chemical reality in the bloodstream. Every thought, every emotion has a chemical reality in the bloodstream. So the location of the ailment will tell us if their thoughts are bad or if their emotions are bad. So you, as the holistic professional, know how to address it, right? It can manifest in a number of different ways. There can be color inconsistency. There can be skin eruptions. There can be excessive hotness or coldness. There can be rashes or scratches. There can be slow blood, like when you pinch your fingers, it turns white for a minute, right? But the blood should come back relatively quickly. If it doesn't come back very quickly, that could be indication of a problem there. Your client might complain of pain or soreness or sensitivity. Numbness is one I like to add. That can happen. Okay. So let's practice this. Pay attention. Get your books open, page 432, and so you can help figure this out with me. Okay. Now, you need to master this because it's going to be an exciting knowledge check in the next module, right? You're going to do the same thing all by yourself for a quiz this week. Okay. So let's get this party started. All right. So we can tell because there's a shoe in the other picture that this is somebody's leg, right? A lower leg. So looking at these rashes, right? That looks like a rash. Is it located in region A, B, C, A, B, or C? You got it? My guess would be pause it if you're not ready to answer, because I want you to answer before I give you the answer. So this one has a little bit of B and C in it, right? So there's some physical things going on. Maybe she stands on her feet for her job all day. Maybe her diet is bad, but also her thinking. She needs to deal with some of her thoughts. Okay, that's creating this rash down here. Did you get B and C? Perfect. And it's actually more C than B, in my estimation. There's some discoloration down there. So I would definitely start with diet here or physical lifestyle choices that she's making. Okay. All right, the next one. What do you think? Is it A, B, or C? Yes, I would say it's A, B, and C. Now, one thing I want to point out. So, first of all, I would treat her holistically. She needs to work on her emotions, her thoughts, her physical lifestyle choices. There's a lot going on here. But I would also like to point out that her left thigh is worse than her right thigh. Write this down. The left side of our bodies represent our genetic predisposition we get from our mothers. The right side represents our genetic predispositions we get from our fathers. Okay. So there's something going on here with the genetics her mother gave her, or the relationship she has with her mother might not be healthy. So it's manifesting on the left more than the right. What was that noise? All right. Good job, you guys are the bomb. Okay, here we go. Look at this sister's thigh. There is some discoloration all over the thigh, but there's a very dark one underneath her right butt cheek. You see that? Where is that discoloration? What region is that in? Yes, that is in C. That is in C, and that's on her right thigh. Her right thigh. So what does that mean? It could be connected to the emotions she has in relationship to her father or her father's side of the family or male figures. I say fathers, let me take that back. Mothers and fathers doesn't have to mean your actual mother and father unless you're talking about genetics. It can also be indicative of a male in your life or a woman in your life if it manifests on a spiritual or emotional level, right? So keep that in mind. I shouldn't have said mother, father. Actually, I should have said mother and father, only as it applies to genetics. Okay. Other than that, it can just be a male or female relationship. Okay. So this sister here has something going on in region C, which means there's something physically going on. So I wouldn't even deal with the mental or spiritual. There's something going on with her lifestyle, her diet. That's where I would start with that. Although you can see some discoloration all up and down the leg. So actually, I'm going to change my answer. I would treat all three with this sister. I would treat all three. Okay. And by the way, there are spiritual regions here as well. What is that noise? There are spiritual regions here as well. So C is about creating the spirit, B is moving the spirit, and A is spiritual purpose of life. So if you think about it holistically, C, creating your spirit, is the physical. It's when we're creating our bodies, our physical beings. B is about moving the spirit, right? Thinking our spirit through, making it move, making a mental intention to move. And then A is spirit, just your purpose. Okay. So I know, we're a spiritually based institution, so you want to make sure you tap into these spiritual regions as well. And so just to make it make sense, the spiritual region of this is C as well, of course, because the regions don't change or cross over. But there's something going on with her trying to define who she is, define her space, create her space. Okay. All right. What about this brother's arm? He has a rash on his arm. Oh, my ear. What are we going to say for this one? Yes, I'm going to go with A and B. A and B. Good. What about this sister? Her hand. A, B, and C is what I will go with. What did you guys get? A, B, and C? Okay. Next one. Oh, what zone is this? A, B, or C? A. I will go with A. The fingertips are very, very black, and the fingertips represent the A region of the hand, of the fingers. So there's something going on my ear. A is it. So she definitely has something going on emotionally. Okay, emotionally or spiritually. Okay. What about this sister? Yep. So it's in her the upper part of her arm, of her forearm, and the lower part of her arm. So that's actually A for the upper arm and C for the lower arm. So she has both A and C happening here. A and C. So she might be doing something physically demanding or some poor lifestyle choices with her diet and smoking or drinking or something like that. But also her emotions are out of whack. Okay. What about here? She has a rash apparently because she's scratching. A. Hope you chose A. Okay. Again, if I'm going too fast, pause it before I give you the answer because I need you to know this for when you take your test. Okay. Let's move on. 10. Okay. What zone of the face is this in? A, B, or C? That's B. It's definitely B. And it's on the left side, right? It's the left side of her face. So that gives us a clue as to where else to look. Perfect. What about here? B. I hope you said B. All right. So this is an intellectual thing. It's a mind thing. And it's B because it's above the lip. It has to be below the lips in order for it to be zone C. Okay. Next. All right. What about this sister? Yep. I'm going to go with B and C. The stuff everywhere, right? B and C. Now, understand, as a holistic professional, there's an art and science to holistic health. So you're going to learn the science, but you also have to use the artistry of it. You have to make sure you're in check spiritually, that you're in tune, that your intuition is strong, because you have to use the art of holistic health when you make these analogies. So there might be some where we could argue about what zone it's in because maybe it's crossing over, but you as the healer dealing with your client have to make sure that you are connected to source to be able to make the right artistic analysis. Okay. Perfect. Let's go on. So this is the forehead, and it's the upper forehead. There's actually some in, I said C at first, but now I think I'm going to change to B and C because most of it's in zone C, but there is some in zone B. So I'm going to go with B and C. So this is the person who might have a good diet, they exercise, they do all the things that they say. They don't smoke, they don't drink, they make all these healthy choices, but for some reason they keep getting sick, right? That's because this sister here has mental and spiritual deficiencies that she needs to work on. Okay. All right. What about this one? We're going to go with zone B, right? On her face, it's zone B. Okay, here we go. What about this brother's arm? A and B. A and B. Good. Next one. All right, this is a sister's abdomen. Her abdomen. A, B, or C? C. It is C. Perfect. Next. Oh, it's another abdomen. Lower abdomen below the belly button. That is C again. Good. All right, here we go. A, B, or C? A. Exactly. There's some emotional stuff going on here. And it's on both sides of the family or with both genders. But my guess would be that it's genetic because of the intensity of it. Yes, yes. And there could be some B too. I might go with a little bit of B, a little bit of B and C, but mostly C. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. What is this one? This one's right above the belly button. B. I hope you said B. Perfect. Now remember, this is a simple diagnosis. We're going to learn more about how to connect these rashes and symptoms to specific organs or systems in the body. Okay. All right. What about this one? Now, I know in the book, the picture of the hand and the foot is pointed outward, but imagine that the zones apply to both sides of the hands and the feet. Okay. So this one would be an A. A. All right. 21. Okay, so look at this. This is oh, I would love to work with this person. Okay, so the left hand, as you can see, has way more discoloration and rashes on it um, than the right hand does, though the right hand does have it. So, but it's more like on the left hand, it's A, B, and C. On the right hand, it's A, B, and C of the fingers. And the right hand also is A, B, and C of the fingers. But the hand on the left hand is zone A. And on the right hand, I don't see the zone A in the hand. So we would look more deeply into that. But yeah, so anyway, zones A, B, and C. All right, let's look at this foot. Oh, it's a right foot. So what does that mean? Right. It's the genetics we got from our father or relationship with men. And what zone is it? A. That is zone A. All right, let's look at this one. Oh, look at that. It's like perfectly spaced. Yeah, this would be really interesting to work with this person. So what are we going with? Yeah, I'm gonna go with A, B, and C. A, B, and C. And that's in the fingers, but I see over there on the right hand, there may be a burn or something over there. But remember, if you read your pages, that even accidents, burns, and things of that sort happen in certain parts of our body for a reason. That's where it happens, right? Nothing happens by accident. Nothing. So if a client has a burn on the right hand, it wasn't an accident that the burn happened right there. Okay. All right. Keep it pushing. Uh-oh, what about this one? So this one's both on the foot and the leg. And I'm going to go with C for both. This is zone C of the foot and zone C of the ankle. Okay. And look at this one. Zone, what's your guess? What's your guess? There's some on the left, but it's more prominent on the right foot. So, and it's more prominent in zone A of the foot and toes are encompassed in zone A in the feet. Okay. Did you get that one? Did you get it? Yeah, you got it. Okay. What about this one? This is zone A too. Yep, this one's zone A as well. I see it's starting to bleed down into zone B a little bit, but I would treat zone A. It's overwhelmingly present in zone A. Okay, what about this one? I'm sorry. Yep. So we're on the foot here. I would go with B and C. B and C. I don't think it's A. All right. Sorry about that. I'm doing too much at one time. Okay, look at this on the bottom of this brother's left foot. What we got going on? What zone is this? B. I would go with B. Hope you went with B too. Good job. Okay. Look at this forehead. It's a rash. It's scaly. What do we have going on here? A, B, or C? I would go with B. I will go with B. And look at this sister. Now this is lupus. This sister has lupus. I can tell by the rash, but she has some stuff going on in zone A in the forehead and zone B of the face. Okay, zone A and B. Lupus is an autoimmune disorder, which means the body's attacking itself, which we can stop our bodies from attacking itself, right? We don't treat autoimmune disorders. We treat the body. We are not medical doctors. We are holistic practitioners. So we don't use medical terminology. In fact, it's illegal to use medical terminology. But we don't want to use medical terminology because if we wanted to practice medicine, or if medicine was working, then we would go into medicine. We know that it hasn't been working, especially for Black and brown people. So we don't want to use that language anyway. We want to treat the body, right? And once you name a disease anyway, it gives people an excuse and a reason not to take responsibility for their health. You don't have high blood pressure. You don't have diabetes. You've made some poor lifestyle choices. That's what you're doing, right? You have some unchecked emotions, right? That's what it is. So we don't name disease. We can name what's happening, like your blood sugar is high, your whatever. You can name that, but you can't name the disease. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later on in a different course. But my melanin is a superconductor of energy, and I'm dark skinned, so I got all this melanin going everywhere. Not that dark skin has anything to do with it, but it does. Anyway, see, there I go again. Let's go on. Woo! Can y'all imagine busting slob with homeboy? What zone is this? I would go with B and C. A is the tip of the tongue, right? And yeah, it's just not. I would go with B and C. I don't think there's. Or he might have some poor lifestyle choices. Not that it doesn't show up, but it's B and C. His mind and emotions are out of whack. All right, keep it pushing. All right, what zone is this? And that is, the tongue is not covered up. That is the tip of the tongue right there. I will go with A with this one. Did you guys go with A? Yeah, I'll go with A. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, A, B, or C. This should be easy. A. A. Okay. Oh, good night. A, B, or C? Definitely B and C, but mostly C. Mostly C. Mostly C. Ooh. A, B, or C? B and C. I will go with B and C. What zone is this? A, B, or C? B. I will go with B. All right, look at this brother's nose. A or B or C? You know, it's definitely zone A. I'm trying to think of how much of zone B is here. Because he doesn't have a long nose shaft. I would still go with A. And maybe tinkering on the B region slightly, but mostly A. I feel comfortable treating this brother from an emotional level. And what about this one? A, B, or C? B. I will go with B. Okay. What about this eye? Looks like that red, the major red line. You see there, and this is iridology. You guys, I love iridology. I think we're gonna cover that later on, but you should get certified as an iridologist. When you finish this course, or if you're bad enough, take it while you're taking this course. Iridology has been my most effective diagnostic tool. Iridology. Anyway, B, I would go with zone B, right? It's in the middle of the eye, not the top or bottom of the eye. And it looks like this is a right eye. So this person probably has some thyroid issues going on. I can tell that by looking at this line and where it's located. Her thyroid's checked up. But it's in zone B, which is a mind thing. And look at this eye. It's a lot of lines, way more than 3. Dr. Africa says there should be no more than 3 lines in the eye. This person has a lot, and they're very bloodshot red. And they're in zones A, B, and C. A, B, and C. All right, so that was a lot of fun. So now you guys are going to walk around looking at people when they have a rash. I'm like, oh, you need to get your mind right. Oh, you need to change your lifestyle. Oh, your emotions are all over the place. It's going to start freaking people out that you know things about them before they even tell you, because you can look at it and figure it out. So I hope that was some good practice for you, and I hope you're ready to do it all by yourself on a quiz that is coming up. So thank y'all so much, and I will see you in the next module.